Oh my gosh!
Yo, YouTube, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. We know this is a holiday week, and there's lots and lots going on, so we appreciate you taking some time to watch us. If you're watching this recorded, welcome as well. Please read up on the chat and keep up with us as we go along. We appreciate everyone who watches. We've got enough to do tonight, I think, and enough to talk about.
We always have enough to talk about.
We always have enough to talk, and if we don't, others will help make sure we talk. All right, I'm feeling really good. Are you feeling really good about cards? Cards have been. I can't even keep up.
I heard there's supposed to be a slowdown this time of year, but I'm not really seeing it overall.
Yeah, it's been insane. I packed cards until, I was talking to you a little bit during the last night, but I packed cards till about 12:30 last night. I printed a couple labels because I have to get my labels printed by midnight. So I printed a couple labels right before midnight so I would have them, went to bed, and then I filled them this morning because obviously there ain't going to be no mail going at 12 o'clock at night anyway. So I got up at like 5 this morning. So I had like 4.5 hours of sleep, got up and started all over again. Did take some time off this afternoon to take my little to the mall. We had a blast. She loves that place. We went to Hot Topic and we just got boxed lunch. Some great stores, and we had a great time. So it was nice to have a few minutes to just kind of get away and get some lunch and do all that kind of thing. Because barely even getting lunch these days, so busy.
Well, when you started working from home, you didn't realize you were going to be doing 2 shifts a day.
Yeah, well, it's me or it doesn't get done, right? I mean, that's sort of how that story goes. And I think that's just part of it. I think people are home this time, with this type of season and stuff, and I think there's just that much shopping. There's no card shows on a Wednesday, right? So you want to buy some cards, you got your gift card for Christmas, all that kind of stuff. It's just flowing. I sent some coupons out. Those have been hugely successful. As a matter of fact, I kind of had to turn one off early because it was too successful, and I didn't want to offer something I couldn't deliver on, let's say. So I just had to slow it down a little bit.
Did you set a budget on it?
Not really, because to be honest with you, there's so much margin built in, for what we pay for the cards. We're fortunate. We can get the cards pretty cheap. And I have so much inventory. And the inventory sitting there doesn't do you any good either. So now here's the real kicker, right? Guess where the bigger portion of my sales came from?
Where?
Not the initial sale of a card, but the continuing quantity afterwards, right? So you got 10 copies, you sell that first copy at 30%, whatever your coupon rate is. Boom, now you got a sale on that. Now I have all these people coming in and paying full price for something super random like a 2013 Topps Strata Tom Brady base card. I get $3 a pop for those. So I sell one at $1.50, $2, whatever, plus multiple cards because the coupon requires multiple card purchase. And then wham, $3, $3, $3, $3, $3. People that are buying it as a single, I'm getting the full price. So we're buying a couple cards or whatever, even if it's not hitting the coupon. So I kind of didn't see that as being as big as what it actually was. So crazy. Just business is just crazy. And I'm trying to list stuff. I went down like 700 listings this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I've been trying to list stuff. I've got today's packet here. Shout out to Urethra for the idea. I'm going full bore. I'm bagging them all now because as I'm getting more bags and I'm pulling more orders, in how many orders I'm getting now, it's going to be a game changer to keep going this route and just popping them out of the bags. So
I am too. I converted and it's going pretty well for me. I like it. When I have to get a card out of them, it's pretty quick to pull them out.
And shout out to you, Charlie, for the date idea. That seems to work really well for me. And then I just sort of sub number them. Like there's a pretty full pack. So if I do another one tonight, which I'm not, because when this is done, I'm going the hell to bed. But if I were to do another one today, then I just sub number it, and it's been super easy with using the SKU code that eBay or the SKU system that eBay provides. And when I fill my orders off my phone. I go over to my cabinet to fill, so I pull them up, and it says, right under the purchase, it says the SKU number for each one. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, been very happy with that. So we got a few things we want to talk about tonight. First of all, how was your Christmas, you and the family?
It was good, very relaxing. I took Tuesday off as well, so I had a nice 4-day weekend. Kids were happy with what they had under the tree on Christmas Day. We spent Christmas Eve traveling to both sides of my in-laws' family, my mother-in-law's house in Manitowoc, and then out to my father-in-law's house in Clintonville. So we knocked all that out in one day. And then we've already got the outdoor Christmas decorations
we
down.
Did too. We did too. With
nice.
The weather being 50 degrees, we said to hell with it. We're taking them down.
Yeah, well, I wait till the ground freezes again and stuff, right?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. So it was good. How about you guys?
Very good. We hosted for pretty much everything. So it was making a lot of food and doing a lot of cleaning. Everybody's, people that are like, oh, we got to do all this travel, and I get that. That's true. But try to host everybody. That's a whole other animal,
Yeah.
But our house works. My parents are in the middle of, a transition and moving and things like that. So it just kind of made sense to, other people are in apartments, and you can't really host anything in an apartment. So it just worked out to have everything by us. But great. All the family got along. We all had fun, good food. It was awesome.
Getting card-related stuff for Christmas?
I got some Lorcana, actually. I got some packs and some starter decks and stuff like that. I'm gonna learn to play it with Luna. I got some dragon sleeves, the ones for game cards. Where they have like the not clear back, so you can't read the back of the card.
Yeah.
That's about it for cards. People don't really give me cards. I don't know. Which is fine. I'm okay with that too. But yeah, if I do get cards, it's usually non-sport packs for my collection.
Okay.
But I didn't get any this year, so.
Yeah, it's when you say that, it reminds me, it's a little bit of a different kind of feeling, because I got a box. My family got me a box of Topps Holiday, right? And I like those, but I already sold the relic card out of it this week, because I turned around and listed some of them right away. So I feel like
that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't ask for cards for Christmas, because I'll probably sell them, and I don't want to do that.
Exactly. Like I feel like they know I'm gonna sell them, right? But at the same time, I feel a little guilty that I sold one of the cards out of my Christmas present.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one of the other things I got for Christmas was a bag of ghost pepper popcorn.
That does not look fun to me.
It's funny because when you open it and you smell it, it's almost like a tear gas, right? Going right up your nose, like it kind of makes your eyes water a little bit. But I saw it this morning, and I thought, it would be fun to try a piece of this. To try a piece of this on the show. So that's what I'm going to do.
I don't understand why people like to torture themselves with hot items.
I love spicy food. So as I was telling Charlie before the show, I often eat dragon powdered kimchi, or dragon pepper kimchi, or whatever you want to call it, for breakfast in the morning. So I am well trained. I feel like I'll be okay with this. Just to make sure, I've got my little Wampa Tiki jugger here loaded with some tasty cool water, just so that I don't have to take a break from the show. Should that be the case? But we'll see how it goes. So are you ready on the count of 3?
All right. 3, 2, 1. dig in. Is it tasty?
Yeah, it's not that bad, actually.
I'm sure it's one of those heats that builds a little bit. It's not there instantly.
So I've had a lot of ghost pepper stuff before. It's got to be in moderation, first of all. You wouldn't want to like cover a steak with it or something, right? But you're correct. What happens is it's a heat that sort of gets in and then it kind of builds and expands and it sort of goes. You got to make sure you know what you're doing. I had ghost pepper hot sauce I put on a salad once because
salad.
Because well, salads suck, right? That's basically the most boring food on the entire planet. So I'm like, I'm gonna put some ghost pepper sauce on it and see if this makes it better. So I just drizzled it, like dressing, right? I just drizzled this hot sauce ghost. That was a huge mistake. That was just too much ghost pepper and couldn't even really enjoy it. But this is fine. There's nothing too crazy about that. And I thought about this beforehand. People are going to say, "Oh, it's not really ghost pepper. You replace the popcorn," or it doesn't even say it on the bag, which they're actually right. I was kind of surprised. It said it on the package, but not on the bag. It is from the same company, obviously, as the picture I sent earlier with the ghost pepper on it. But yeah, it's not really that bad. I could eat this whole thing. That's not really that big a deal. I'm not going to because you guys all don't want to eat me watch popcorn. You just watched a whole video of me eating macaroni and cheese. So
I'm quite all right with my Jamaican jerk chicken, and that's spicy enough for me.
That was great. And
the Caribbean.
One of the reasons I really
at what is it? B-dubs. Yeah.
Who's the jerk?
Sometimes it's me.
One of the reasons I wanted to do this too. Now the heat is there right now.
Building.
It's gone. Yep. But another reason I wanted to do that was I had 4 hours of sleep, and I thought if I throw some ghost pepper in my mouth, I'll probably be awake for a while. So that was the side plan. But you got to take a little swig of this guy here, and then we'll get going.
So, are you drinking milk then to deal with that, or what's your cool down of choice?
Just water.
Just water.
Yeah. Some have this argument that water makes it grow and expand, and it opens your pores or whatever.
Correct, because it's an oil, actually.
Right. I don't care. It doesn't bother. It doesn't matter to me. I very rarely would have anything hot enough that it would bother me. So
yeah.
But anyway, that was fun. So hopefully you're all gonna have to take my word for it that it's ghost pepper popcorn because I don't have any other way to prove it to you. The other thing is, I thought it would be like really red or something, but it's not. It just looks like regular
popcorn.
Yeah, I thought it would have like a red powder or something on it, but
all the powder.
You can smell it. It's pretty. If you take a big whiff, it's like that's actually worse than eating it. Like sucking it into your nose, Like you ever cut onions?
Yeah.
You know how it just sort of starts seeping into your eyes and stuff. That's kind of what that does.
And then you rub your eye and you make it even worse.
Right. Yeah. I don't touch my eyes when I eat. I've been a spicy eater long enough. I don't touch my eyes. So that stuff's pretty good. I'm actually going to finish that at some point. We'll put it aside for now, but. So anyway, we got the ghost pepper out of the way. Good. That feels good. I got a little sweat rolling here, but if you can see that, it was a little misty there, but yeah.
Just wait till the nose starts running.
That'll get me through the night. Nah, I think I'm fine now. All right. So should we get to the chat? We're gonna get behind if we don't do this. We got 17 viewers in here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us live. We truly appreciate it. We have a blast doing this, and it's all because of you guys and gals, of course. So we come back every week. I look forward to chatting with everybody, seeing everybody. Working from home is great, but this is my social life right here. You guys are
social hour.
My social hour. Social hours.
Yeah,
we have hours. But anyway, thanks so much for joining us as usual. We're gonna chat a little bit about some year end, kind of our year in review, a little bit about what we're gonna look forward to for the new year, and what we think Cards is gonna do, in this new year. this next year is going to be, I think, going to be very interesting because we're going to start seeing Fanatics start creeping in more with their actual production, right? Because, you know, they get the rights in 2025. So I think they can start producing some Topps Chrome stuff early, things like that. Which will be really interesting to see how things kind of move in this year, how the collectors view that, how the investors view that. But cards are not slowing down. We did that card show and it was slamming.
Right.
Sales have been really good. I know you sent me a picture of your envelopes. You're like, look at all these sales I got, you know?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you've got, you know, a couple hundred listings or 100,000 listings, the stuff is going. So take good care of your customers and list good products and you're going to get what you need out of that.
Absolutely. I'm actually, I'm like one day of decent sales away from beating my November numbers right now.
That's all. I'm up like 38% since November in sales. Like that's insane. And I did really good numbers in November.
Yeah.
It wasn't my greatest month ever, but it certainly wasn't my worst. So I think probably September or October, somewhere towards the end of September, beginning of October is probably where I had a little bit of slowdown. And that was about it. And then boom, it just, because we even talked about that around Thanksgiving, right? Like, yeah, it's picking up. Like, what's going on here? It's supposed to be slow.
When did we really kick in with the, you know, well, you've been doing the sell end and sell similar for a while, but when did we really kick in on the promotions?
I would say that was probably sometime early August, if I were to guess. It was like a week or two when I got back from the Nationals. Kind of when I first went full time, to be honest with you, because I'm like, well, I'm here now. I better sell some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's a pretty good motivator. And then as far as coupons go, I've only been starting that like the last couple of weeks, and that's been a big help too. The end sells similar. You're right, my nose is running a little bit. The end sells similar. I want to say probably end of August, maybe. I was really doing that regularly. You know, once I figured out like how I wanted an actual work day to look like for me, that's when I was very consistent with it. And any days I knew I was going to have more orders and couldn't do listings and things like that, I always make sure that I get at least one or two groups of listings ended and resold. So
yeah,
or sell similar, whatever.
Sell similar.
Sell similar. So started the newsletter about that time, middle to end of August. So you're right. And I think, you know, some of our own actions have really helped pick things up as well. So, all right, let's get into some chat, shall we? Joseph says Adam must be combing his hair. Should I let it loose?
Oh boy.
Here it comes. I did get a tad bit of a trim just for the holidays. But yeah, it's still got things going on for sure. Here we go.
Perfect.
We're gonna go wild and free here. This will actually be better, so I don't get the sweat in my braid here. All right. Bill says, yo, YouTube. I have no idea where he got that from. Thank you. Thanks, Bill, for joining us. Sounds familiar. I don't know. Evening, not gentlemen. There we go. See, we got somebody who's figured it out. That's awesome. He knows us.
Yep.
Urethra's in here. Welcome back, Urethra. Thanks for joining us. Hope you boys had a very Merry Christmas. We hope you did as well. I certainly did. Sounds like Charlie and his crew did too. So good news. Good evening, fellow cardboard collectors and connoisseurs. Wow, that's kind of intense.
Fancy.
So speaking of like increases in eBay, one cool thing that I did have happen to me this past week was I hit 10,000 feedback.
Awesome.
So I got my little shooting star now. So
they give you another little icon for that?
Yeah, they give you like a shooting star logo. Here, I can show you what it looks like. I can show you what it looks like, maybe. Let's see here. Present. Share screen. Share screen. eBay. All right, so can you see that there next to my little name? It's
Oh yeah,
and
look at that.
It grows pretty quick. I'm at 10,072, so I have 72 new feedback since I hit the 10. So it go when you sell a lot of cards, this thing moves quick. Yeah, you get a little yellow shooting star. Kind of fun.
Looking at your username, it reminds me the other day or yesterday, I think it was, we were chatting about some buyers that were working me pretty hard, and I went to look at their feedback, and I saw minis and stuff on their feedback. I'm like, hey, they bought from Adam as well.
It's crazy. Well, there's a lot of time, and I don't know if this happens for you, Charlie. We never really talked about it, but there's a lot of times where I'll get a sale and I'll get messages from the buyer that says, "Hey, I watch your channel and just wanted to make a buy." So it's kind of cool.
Haven't had that happen yet. I'm not YouTube famous like you, Adam.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to not share a screen. How do I get out of here? Stop screen. Boom. Look at that. Look at him. That ghost pepper, man, it gets my tech juices flowing. Like everything's just working out here.
We even opened the show properly today. I don't know what's getting in you.
We did. I don't know, man. It's that lack of sleep, I think. Forced me to focus, right? And I haven't had gummies or nothing. Like this is straight, other than ghost peppers, this is straight me. So let's see. Evening, everyone. DGen Terp is here. Evening, everyone. I hope you had a great holiday. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. We did. Hope you did as well. Tom's agreeing with me. Been literally 4 hours of sleep nonstop, but doubling up sales and just became top-rated seller. Awesome. Congratulations. That's a big, important step because you'll get in front of a few more eyeballs. You'll have some more trust up front. You'll probably get less questions on your items. Your buyers will just understand that you know what you're doing. So yeah, good for you.
And you get a little knocked off of your final value fees.
Correct. Yes. As long as you do 1-day shipping. A lot of people can't do that because it's even doing it full time. It's tough for me on some of those. Yeah. I got to ship this today kind of thing. Let's see. Congrats, Tom. Awesome, Tom. Urethra says ghost pepper popcorn, fire in the hole. Bet it's yummy though. It's actually down good. It's kind of a. Do you drink whiskey at all, Charlie? You drink whiskey, right, Charlie?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You know how like if you get a really good whiskey, how it has that like nice little bit of lingering burn, not like annoying or terrible. That's kind of how I feel about ghost pepper.
Okay.
Like while you're eating it, it might be a bit of a challenge, but it just has this nice kind of lingering.
Sure.
All right.
I can't think of a better thing to eat right before you go to bed.
Mm-hmm. It'll keep me warm.
Yeah.
Urethra is also a part of the Spicy Food Club. Good to hear it. Popcorn going in and lava coming out. Woo! I also had Sabaro's pizza for lunch, so it's kind of risky today. Kind of risky. It's hot. Like, don't get me wrong. You gotta go into it. Being prepared, I guess. But anyway,
I see you got a little sheen on you.
Enough of that. You guys don't want to see. Yeah, you guys don't want to see me eat and drink all night, so I'll stop with that. I don't want to be one of those old ladies that eats bland food at Marie Callender's and I'm enjoying the spice while I can just in case. Yeah, exactly. I don't.
Well, you could always go to Cracker Barrel instead.
Well, one of the things my my doctor told me, because you discuss your diet and whatever with your doctor, and I was telling her, and she's like, "Dude, you eat a lot of spicy stuff," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, I do." And she's like, "Well, as you get older, you can't eat some of that. The stomach gets more sensitive." And I'm like, "Then I am shoveling it in because it is the best." So anyway, Max Ghost Pepper pork rinds. Ooh, by the way, for those who are low carb dieters, They are fabulous, as are all of Max flavored pork rinds.
Yeah, I get Max.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen the ghost pepper ones, but that ghost pepper, it's for real. Like you, yeah. Anyway, MD Sports Cards is here. Good evening, gentlemen. We had the pleasure of meeting him in person at the show, so that was pretty cool. So
yeah, it was great
thanks
talking
for joining us. Speaking of shows, I saw you were interested in the show this weekend. Are you going at Tim's?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go on Saturday.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off.
No.
Because it's New Year's and we have plans and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
it's close. It's easy in and out. Like
I need some supplies, and so the biggest thing for me is it's close, but not really. Like it's still a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
Last time I went, I didn't find a single thing to buy at the show, so I'm kind of like,
oh, really?
I really want to go all the way out there, and I bought some stuff from the shop, but
there's a few specific things I want to look for that I think I'll be able to pick up there.
Yeah. There's a couple things in the store I would buy, but I can go there anytime to get that.
Right.
I don't. Right. So it's just not convenient. I wish we had one like right at one of our 2 shops in Green Bay. That would be awesome, because then I would just go every month. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Baseball Card Curmudgeon has joined us. Welcome. What's up, fellas? Thanks for joining us. Good evening from Troy. Joe says hi. Hey guys. Hey Joe. Great to see you guys. Great to sort of see you. Great to to see your icon. Right. Charlie's facial hairs and fleek. Oh no. What is it with our hair? Like everybody talks about our hair every week. I mean, my hair, I guess, because I'm like a mad scientist. But somebody the other day when I had my hair down told me I looked like Nikolai Tesla. Like I don't. Is that real?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I do. I don't know.
I get Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. There you go. See? Excellent.
Whoa.
Station.
That's all I got. Excellent. Party on. Yeah. I don't know. Aretha says, here comes the 90s 9-inch nails hair, and I love it. You are welcome.
Reznor.
Bargain Boxer flying right in with a question right away. What is
he's all business.
He is. He's got stuff to do. What is your best card you picked up this year? How about goals for 2024? And how about bad purchases from 2023? Probably my worst purchase from 2023, and I've kind of mentioned this before. We'll start there, the worst one, because we'll get that out of the way. That's not as much fun to talk about. Mine was probably a set of South Park cards. I paid up for them on a little bit because I'm like, oh, it's South Park. It's so popular.
Yeah.
They were only printed 1 year. You don't see them around very much. So I kind of paid up about 75 cents a card or so. And I had not sold that many of them.
Yeah.
I sold some of the key ones, got an okay chunk of my money back. But so not like anything like major loss or anything like that. Just completely overestimated what I could do with those. So that would definitely be my not as great a purchase. Now I think over time it'll be fine. They'll sell, but
yeah. For me, my probably worst purchase of the year was a lot of non-sport I purchased off of eBay, and it was kind of a gamble. The pictures weren't great. It was kind of hard to tell what all was in there. But it was like a couple hundred non-sports, and it was fairly cheap. But I think I've maybe sold 3 cards out of that whole lot, and they're still sitting here. So, that was one of the first non-sport lots I went after, and I was kind of shooting in the dark at the time. It was a learning experience, though. So do I feel bad about it? Not really. Would I buy it again? Absolutely not.
Well, yeah. You know what's funny about that? I remember when you were early. You're correct. It was a learning experience, right? And it wasn't a lot of money, so it's the best way to learn.
Right.
But I remember when you sent it to me and you're like, oh, I found this big lot and I got all these cards, and then you started showing me some of them and I'm like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
That's, I did not want to steal your thunder, or I'm like, well, maybe he'll do better than I think he will. But I remember thinking, seeing him and going, I've been doing non-sports long enough to realize I don't think those are going to be the winners. But
yeah, I sold a few Star Wars cards that were in there, but there's a bunch of Superman 2 and stuff like that I haven't been able to move at all. So
yeah, there's just not as many buyers and collectors of some of that stuff.
Right.
Base cards for non-sport stuff is tough. Not as great a seller on a lot of the brands. Now, that being said, I would say probably one of my best buys this year, one of my best buys this year was a huge lot of Beavis and Butthead cards I bought. I've been selling those at $3 a pop. I got a few of the inserts too, some of the scratch and sniff cards and one of the promo cards or something like that with it, which I knew those would do well no matter what, but sold a ton of the base cards at $3 a pop. And people never send offers on those. They just pay my $3 asking price. Right. And, buy a couple here or there, and man, they move. I paid like $30 for like 120 cards plus a few inserts, and I made that back with like in a week, and they just keep paying dividends. I'd say my overall best pickup was not a single card, because it's very rare I buy a single card based on what I do. But I bought that giant box of Aaron Rodgers high-end base cards for $80. I paid 8 cents a card, and it's got like encased and black and unparalleled, like all these great brands. They're all base cards, organized really well. They were super easy to list or super easy to pull. It was just, I got the box. I mean, those 5-row boxes are what, $10 now, 8 to $10.
Yeah.
So I even got that in the deal, and I $4 or $5 a piece on all those cards, and they just keep on going. So that's usually going to be a couple grand out of that box for an $80 buy. So that's by far my best pickup.
Yeah, for me, the best pickup in terms of what we do was a stack of F1 cards I picked up a few months ago, and found out that I was able to flip a bunch of the Sapphire ones, especially, really quick, for like $6 a pop, and I think I paid 40 cents a card, something like that. So that really opened my eyes up to a market I had never touched before. I had NASCAR, and I knew a little bit about NASCAR. I had never had a single F1 card. I didn't know anything about it. Now I've turned into like a F1 fanatic, and I'm, watching online and buying a calendar of all the circuits next year and stuff like that. So from a professional standpoint, that was probably some of my best pickups of the year, is opening up that market. From like a PC collection, most of my PC cards are just fun for me. They're not high value, big money cards. But I've got 3 cards, 3 of the Super Glows for the Sandlot, and they make me smile every time I look at those.
Yeah, me too. I just had one laying out here before, but I must have put it away. I was going to show it up. But yeah, I love Super Glow. I wish we would find more of it. We found that little hot spot at that one show.
Yeah.
And bought up what we could. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That Tim's shop sells Super Glow boxes. Did you know that?
Oh, do they?
Yeah, if you go to like his rack on the back wall, which is like the weird stuff, like Garbage Pail Kids and all that stuff's over there, country music cards and all that. It's got some Super Glow boxes, but they're expensive.
Really?
Like $250 a box for like 4 packs or something. I think you get like 2 or 3 autos or whatever. I'm sure they're priced, according to your what you can potentially pull. But
I was looking at some singles to expand my collection just the other day, and I saw the dog, the Beast.
Yeah,
and I almost pulled the trigger on it, but I didn't quite like the price point. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're expensive. So
yeah,
it's. as a fun thing to collect, that's kind of tough when it's going to cost you. But
yeah,
it is what it is. All right, let's move on here. Goals for 2024. I think my main goal is going to be to try to double my listings, which essentially means I would have to max out my listings. I wanted to be at 33,000 at the end of this year, which I'm not even at now with sales, recent sales. I did list a good chunk today, so maybe I just before the show I listed these. So, but I figured if I was at 33 at the end of this year, if I hit 60, 66 is the max. If I do that by the end of next year, that's pretty solid. That's the right. That's the ultimate goal for the growth, and then we'll have to reevaluate, set some new goals at that point. But that's gonna be the focus, and then of course, just trying to expand a little bit. At like Charlie said, hey, I didn't know anything about F1, so I bought some F1. Try to add some new things in, while making sure that the things I'm good at and the things I know and my customers want, are there as well. So that's going to be the big thing. That and the other big goal is to work on organizing my inventory to make it easier to pull the cards quicker, because it's taking me too long now. When you have 500 cards, really doesn't matter. You can put them anywhere you want. When you have 2,000 cards, well, you might want to start sorting a little bit by sport or something. You got 5,000, like you run into these stages of challenges, and now at 33,000, it's just sometimes the sorting is still not sorted down enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I really like the idea we discussed a couple shows ago about doing the team bag. Just pile up your listings for that day in the team bag, put the date label on it, and boom, it goes in the drawer. It actually makes it one of the reasons I didn't like to be too organized at listing point is because I don't want to spend all my time on the cards that haven't sold yet. I want to spend my time on the cards that I've sold. So,
right.
But this is actually faster even with listing. So instead of taking the stack and having to go through the drawer and put every card in its different spot, put them all in this bag while I'm listing them. I have an open bag, stick them all in there. Oh, stick enough, it's full. Zip, strip, put it right in the rack, right in the date order. Done. Yep. Fast. It's fast. They don't get out of order. You never knock them around. They don't fall anywhere. So I think those will be my two major goals. Obviously, I would like to make more income. I would like to go to more shows. I would like, I think we probably all have some of those similar goals, but as far as for me specifically and how I want to grow and operate, those are mine.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I've got a couple of things.
I need more ghost peppers.
Yeah. I probably should write these down too, because they say if you don't write down your goals, you really don't have any goals. But as I think about what I'd like to see at this time next year, I would like to hit 5K listings. So I passed 2,000 this year in a little less, basically 3/4 of the year. So now that I kind of feel like I've got some systems down and understand things a little better, I want to hit 5K. I think that'll be steady growth for me. Still manageable where I'm at in my life, that goes along with this. Of course, I'd like to expand the revenue as well, but I'd also like to kind of fine tune my brand a little bit. I'm not quite sure how to best measure this in terms of a goal, but I'd like to see more repeat buyers, get those people that come back consistently, people that maybe aren't afraid to shoot me a message and say, hey, here's 10 cards I'm looking for, right? But also really, so right now I think my brand is consistently recognized for fast shipping and good quality, but I'd like it to be more about specific types of cards. I'd like to have some people that say, oh, when I need a card of this type, I'm going to go to this store because I know Charlie will probably have a good selection of those, right? And to do that, I think even while I spent a lot of this year talking about diversifying, and I still want to be diversified. Now I think in 2024, I want to figure out what's my specialty if I'm going to have one, you know?
I agree. Yeah, and I think you're at that point where that's what you have to start deciding too, because you need to grow. Because if you want to be the spot somebody goes to for F1 cards, you better have a lot of friggin' F1 cards.
Right.
You know, you can't have 100 of those and 1,800 of other things. So, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head as far as the right things for you to focus on.
Yeah, and I think by default, I was primarily a baseball card dealer because that was my stock I started with, right? That's what I had so much of. But as I've diversified, I've found other interests, and you know, I think I need to figure out which ones do I want to pursue. And when I say really specialize in those, it's more about I'm still going to be diversified, but maybe I buy 4 of these types of cards for every one of these other ones, right? And just build up a certain segment.
And you know, I started as selling only Brett Favre cards,
right?
As crazy as that is. What I tried to do is focus. I like selling players. I believe that that's the best way to find the end buyer for low end cards. You're not going to get the investors or the quick flips or the prospectors, because you're probably, if you want to have a player where they have 10,000 different cards, it's not going to be a rookie, right?
Right.
So you're going to be looking for veterans and Hall of Famers and things like that. So what I did was I pretty much stuck with football for the first year or so, and I would go, okay, well, I have like 30,000 Favre cards now, and what do I do? And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to start buying Tom Brady stuff, and then I'm going to start, and then that expanded into other sports. I started buying a lot of Jeter and a lot of, you know, so yeah, I think you have to kind of pace yourself with the growth and have some focus to it instead of just buying constant random lots. You know, now I'm at the point where I have a pretty darn stocked store, and I can go, geez, I just sold like 30% of my Jeter stock in the last month. I better go buy some Jeter stuff. So now I'm more looking at restocking than anything else. I do some expansion. I'm going to add new sets, and of course there's new stuff printed all the time. But I'm really focusing on these are things that sell consistently for me. And just like you said, customers come to my store looking for these things. I need to, as a matter of fact, that's what like 90% of what this bag was that I listed today. I have some soccer, some Messi, Mbappe. Those guys have been selling really well for me. I have some vintage Star Wars, some Star Files, some Fright Flick stickers. I was getting pretty low on those, so I bought some of those. Some 70s Incredible Hulk sticker cards. And a nice, probably 20, 30 cards of those. And, of course, The Simpsons.
Far out, man.
Nice big pile of sticker cards now, mind you, not base cards. These are the inserts. And I just listed a whole pile of Turtles. Not today. They're not part of this, but yesterday, day before, whatever it was. So, actually, no. I didn't list them, but I have them here. Because I've been buying some stuff online. I don't find these kinds of, as Charlie knows, we don't find this kind of stuff at our shows. So I have to buy this stuff online. But I do have this was a really good deal. I paid like $6 for all these turtles.
Oh.
And it's a bunch of the stickers, of course, which is the bread and butter. But it does have a few of the base cards, but they're ones that sell. So it's like a couple of them anyway. Like this one, that's Donatello's first card. You can get $3-4 for that. So here's the where's the one where it's the original? Here's Raphael. Like the main character cards and stuff like that do really well, and then a bunch of the movie ones. So yeah, it's a lot of times now I just have to go in and go, man, I don't really have much of this item left anymore. I better buy a chunk of them. And that works out pretty well for me. And then when the next person comes in and says, hey, I buy my turtle stickers from this guy, and he comes back to buy more, I've got some fresh stock for them to buy. So, because I'm at about, I guess I haven't looked at this recently, but I think I'm a little over 45% repeat customers, which is I think that's pretty good for an eBay store.
I would say so.
All right, let's keep moving because we're getting behind here.
Oh boy,
you guys are so chatty. You know what you need is some ghost pepper popcorn. That really that spices up the chat. Let me tell you. Brad's here. Yo yo yo! Welcome to the show. Charlie's giving us the sophisticated Papa Smurf look, and I dig it. Yeah, I love everything about Charlie's look except for that stupid sweatshirt.
I knew that was going to come up at some point.
She started it. She brought it up, and I wasn't going to say anything. I'm like, I can let this go, but I had to. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Is that Adam or Eddie? Oh man, I wish I was Eddie Vedder. You know. So
if you was Eddie Vedder, you couldn't understand anything he was saying the whole show.
If I was Eddie Vedder, I wouldn't have to work. I could do my 2 shows. He does 2 shows a year. Well, I think they had like 4 shows last year, and that's it. And they make a trillion gazillion dollars off those giant sold out 100,000 person stadiums, and they're done.
Yeah,
awesome. Good for them. They've earned it. Their stuff is amazing. Let's see. Tom wants to get down to some brass tacks here, changing from 2 to 9% fixed and doing variable, which has helped be my best month so far. By far, going from 0.75 items a day to 2.5 items currently.
Nice.
The extra 6 and 11% hurts, but it is worth it. I don't even look at that percent. I could care less. I have enough margin in there. That's why I don't price the lowest price.
Right.
Because then you don't have anything to give up, especially if you're, well, I mean, everything depends on your cost of goods, but if you're paying, 60% of what you're selling it for, you can't give up 40% because you got no money. And that includes your supplies and your postage, all those things you need, those need to come off of that. So, try to get multiple item sales. That's the big difference maker. 10% doesn't matter if you're selling 20, 30 cards in an order. You're gonna, that's a small price to pay to get a bigger order. Charlie's facial hair is on fleek.
On fleek, not in fleek.
on fleek. Yeah, I
we're about to have to correct himself there.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I know what that means. I saw the shooting star, Cooter. Congrats. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's been I'd like to say it's been a long time coming, but honestly, you know when I hit 7,000, Charlie?
When?
Did I ever tell you that? I hit that over Nationals weekend. So that was end of July.
Okay.
So I've got 3,000 new feedback. Because remember, it's only unique feedback. It's not repeat customers leaving you feedback. So I've got 3,000 plus in the last 4 months. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
it's almost 800 a month. Wow. I was just thinking about that today. I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty good jump. I finally I don't know what that means. I finally
made
it. Troy says this has been his best month so far. Sounds like we're all doing well. So good. Keep watching the show. Maybe we've got our good karmas going. Stating in April and switched for, by the way, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, ring the bell. Switch from 2% to the fixed, what eBay recommends, between 9 to 12. Yeah, I do dynamic eBay, and it's whatever. It is what it is. No, he specifies. I'm in the club too, as like Tom made the top rated seller list. Congratulations. That's a big step. Starts opening some more doors for you. And if you guys don't have stores, you need to start looking at it, because your benefits are going to come when you have the store with the top rated seller. Tom, thanks everyone for the encouragement, and real talk has helped. Good. I'm glad. That's what we're all here for. It was funny because slight quick sidebar here. I was talking to someone Charlie and I both know. I'll tell you later, Charlie, but they asked me, do you think having the show maybe hurts your business because you're creating competition? And I said, I'd thought about that, of course, as a business, especially now, because I need a paycheck. I don't think so, because I think the people who are serious about doing it, I think there's room for all of us. There's places for us. And those that kind of pop on and sort of pop out, they're not really competition, right? And if you have a lot of people jumping in and buying stuff and this and that to try to get involved, I'll probably get sales out of that. So, or consequently, they bought a bunch of stuff, thought this is what they were going to do. Now they don't want to do it anymore, and they're dumping cheap. Okay, well, good inventory for me. So, if you go to business, you study business, one of the things you first learn is that you're going to have competition.
Yeah.
If what you're doing works and you're making money and you're successful and you have free time and you can buy cars and go on vacations and you can do all the things that everybody wants to do in life, someone else is coming in.
Yep.
So do you want to be a part of that? Do you want to work with that competition? Do you want to find your place within competition? And having this, and even though to some degree we're all competing with each other, we can all learn from each other and we can all share experiences with each other. And the way I do things is different than the way Charlie does things. And it's different than the way Urethra does things. And Tom is not even selling the same cards we're selling,
Right.
There's so many different tiers. There's so many different levels. Market's pretty big. And I really don't think there's that many low-end sellers. It's a grind. It's the small profits. We hear about it all the time. Oh, so you do this and you do this and you make 50 cents on that card? Yeah, I do. That's it. Sometimes 30 cents. If that's not for you, then that's okay too. But there are a lot of people that will just, not want to compete. So,
right.
Yeah. So anyway, I want us all to be able to compete. So that's why I'm here. All right. Pro tip, another one from Urethra. I feel like I learn more from her than anybody else in the entire universe these days. So that's good to hear. Pro tip, with eBay standard envelope, since it doesn't scan until a major hub, you can get away with printing the label. And if you can't make it to the mailbox for a day, you'll be okay. Yep. That's exactly what I do. I mean, you want to watch because you definitely want to get too far behind. You still need that package to travel to your buyer, but yeah, day or two, not a big deal. You need to print the label the same day. That's the only requirement. Right. It doesn't have to be in the mailbox. If you're printing it through eBay. If you're printing it, let's say you have a package and you're printing it through Pirate Ship, and you put the tracking number in eBay and all that stuff, it does not count unless it gets scanned. So it's different than the eBay label. So just so you know. Ground Advantage needs the scan. Right, there you go. Ground Advantage needs the scanner. You get dinged. Yep, anything that's package or bigger that's not standard envelope has to move. Correct. Has to get scanned, I guess you're correct. Scan. Amazing. Charlie grew a full beard in a week.
It was more than a week. I can't grow it that fast.
That's what he asked for Christmas, and the elves turned out. The elves sat on his face, and here you go. This is where he's at.
I think it was 2 weeks it took.
Yes, that was great. Great growth. Truck is full of testosterone. Why does this always have to get weird?
Because we are known for our rabbit goat holes.
The rabbit goat holes. Speaking of rabbit goat holes, how was Stuart's Christmas? I think we need to hear from him.
Stuart, he got some well-deserved rest for Christmas. Yeah. He was healing up that ear. He's hanging in there with it. Everything seems okay. He's ready for another road trip. He's ready for Cleveland. We got our tickets the other day.
So did you ever hear about like the goose you could put out on your porch, and then there's like all these different outfits you could get for it to change it out like for the seasons and stuff?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a thing. It's a thing. I feel like we need that for Stuart. He needs like a Santa hat, and then he needs like a jack-o'-lantern outfit or something. I don't know. I feel like we have to.
Maybe one of these days we're gonna get a life-size version of Stu.
Oh, like a real one, like a breathing.
One, we'll get a fainting goat. It'll run around my house.
I was gonna say. I'll tell you what. We keep it at your house, then, and it's a deal. Urethra says she's guilty of buying extremely long tail non-sports cards just because they were cheap and I wanted them. Not the smartest purchases I made, but some of the most fun. Yeah, and you're not wrong. Some of them do sell pretty quickly, or you'll get a buyer that'll come in and buy a chunk of stuff. But they're one of those things where, unlike you buy the quarterback this year who's maybe good and now he's hurt and he's out of the sport or what, like you're buying Sam Darnold cards, right?
Right.
Like if he doesn't work out, what's your long play on that? Nothing. You're gonna have to dump him in a dime box.
Yeah.
Versus like me, I bought that set of South Park cards. They're gonna trickle. They'll still sell. I'll find buyers for those cards because it's still South Park. It's not going away. It's already in the Hall of Fame of cartoons. A little ghost pepper belch there. So yeah. Something Tom says here, wait till a movie or a show and creators die and you'll sell. And I definitely experienced that recently with my Starline movie and actor cards here. I sold that Pee Wee Herman pretty darn fast. And I sold the Sylvester Stallone out of there this week. $4.99 I got for that card, Charlie. That stuff is just awesome. Anything you can find that you don't currently have.
Sly's got that new, I think it's on Netflix or Prime, but it's called Sly, and he's got a new, fairly recent show out too. So he's got some new pop again.
And they're doing that a lot with stuff. I've sold a ton of Barry Sanders stuff recently. The Bye Bye Barry is an amazing program. And when his kid says, "What's a fax machine?" I just die every time.
Yes.
I mean, like you can take a piece of paper and send it somewhere, and then they get a piece of paper. He's like, "That sounds like pretty cool technology," and I'm like, "Wow."
I just miss the sound.
It's no, you don't.
Yeah, and the old internet.
No, you don't. Maybe like once, just for a retro slap in the face. But yeah, you don't want that regularly. Let's see. Ben wants to know, how do we keep track of inventory and profit? Do you use spreadsheets or something, and just generally have a good idea of where your profits sit?
Tricky answer.
Yeah, so I don't really worry too much about tracking sales because eBay does all that. So I try not to double up. Charlie knows I don't like to work too hard, so I try not to double up those efforts. And then I have a spreadsheet, and sometimes I just make notes, depending on what's going on or where I'm at. When I buy, so that I know kind of what I had. Now, if I order stuff on eBay, that's all there too. So I don't really, again, I don't double up that work. I can just go to eBay and look at all my purchases. I do my own taxes, so I can get my information from wherever I want. I don't have like an accountant who's like, you got to send me this, and I need this type of file, and it's got to be a CSV so I can upload it, and blah blah blah.
Right.
I can kind of do my own thing with it. So I think you just have to have a system. You need to know where some things are, where you could go get it. Especially like the tax wise thing. Somebody ever asked you, you'd want to be able to say, well, here's the information right here, kind of thing. It doesn't matter if it's a spreadsheet, doesn't matter if it's a Word document, if it's written in a notebook. A lot of dealers, I don't know if you've noticed this, Charlie, but a lot of dealers in our area, as they're going through the show, when you buy stuff from them, they just write it down in a notebook.
Right.
So you got to find out what works for you. But yeah, it's definitely something you need to keep track of, especially if you're not just doing one card here or there every few weeks. If you're doing some consistent business, you gotta have a system. How about you, Charlie? What do you do?
I was kind of obsessed with that when I first
started. You seem like a spreadsheet guy.
Yeah, I still have the spreadsheets. I don't use them the same anymore, but
yeah.
So when I started, I think like a lot of people, I was like, can you really make money doing this? And I need proof. I need proof that I can do that. Right.
You weren't going to just take my word for it.
Right. So when I started, man, I was inventorying everything and figuring out the exact margins I was making on every individual card. And that lasted 2 to 3 months. And then slowly I started to feel like I had more of a feel for it. And I realized as long as I stay within my kind of targets when I'm buying, it's pretty static what I've got invested in cards.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't do as great as Adam does in a lot of these deals. For me, I'm in that 20 to 40 cents range for my buys per card pretty consistently, depending on the show. So once I know that, now I can understand what kind of margins I'm making on cards consistently, and it becomes more static than I thought it would be early on. So that's really how I go by it now.
And honestly, I think if you're gonna try to do the math once you have the cards, it's too late. You need to do that math when you're standing there looking in the box.
Yeah.
Because if you bought them and you bring them back and you don't have any margin in it, well, you can't return it. It's not.
Yeah.
You're not doing arbitrage or something like that where you just, I'll just buy them all from Walmart, and if I can't make anything on it, I'll bring them back. It's not that kind of a thing. So, other than like wax, which obviously you don't know what the cards are going to be in that's completely unpredictable. But you're standing at a dollar box and you're thumbing through. You better only pick cards where there's going to be something you can make on it.
Yep. And I do after each show, or if I go to a local LCS and buy some cards, I will keep track of what I spend, or I'll take the receipt and I throw it all in an envelope. So at the end of the year, I can kind of fact check where I think I'm at. And also for tax purposes, so I can, show some of those business expenses that I had. But I definitely, exactly. But I definitely, eventually found that, do I want to spend all my time tracking it all, like in the minutia, or do I want to spend my time listing and getting more sales?
Yep. I actually don't even really use my receipts when I do my taxes. Like, I don't pull these all out and look at them all. I just throw them in my portfolio with the rest of my tax stuff just so I have them. Should I ever need to call upon it. Paid my property taxes today, so I will put that in there for right now. But yeah, if they give you a receipt when you make a purchase for something, keep it. But the biggest challenge is buying at shows, because you need to know what you spent at a show, because you're not going to have receipts. Nobody's going to give you receipts. Right. So that's the challenge. And what we do, there is some cash aspect to your buying, and you need to keep track of that. And one of the reasons I started doing videos was I wanted to have some sort of proof, I guess, that I bought stuff. And I don't ever think anybody's going to just sit down and watch all 36 of my card show videos to make sure that every penny is there or anything to that measure. But at least I have something showing that, okay, yeah, he is regularly going to these shows and he's buying inventory and cash there. And matches my cash withdrawals from my bank, or, whatever the case may be, you want to use to sort of, back that up, I guess would be a good way to put it. The better off it is. Now, if you're making enough and you get that 1099 from eBay, now you really want to make sure you know what you're doing, because the IRS already knows you made money. So you got to do everything you're supposed to do with it. I am not giving any tax advice. I'm not doing anyone's taxes. But you asked a question, and I'm just saying that, yeah, that's something you want to try to keep track of. I know you're not saying, oh, I don't even keep track. You just wanted to know how we do. And I think Charlie and I are probably pretty similar in how we make that work. If you're going to spreadsheet every card you sell, and you start selling like 3,000 cards a month like I do, or 5,000 cards a month like I do, you're going to go insane, and you're never going to have enough time to do it. You're never going to be able to grow, because you're going to spend 40%, you're going to spend 40% of your time shipping and 60% of your time putting it in a spreadsheet. Yeah. And what's the point?
Yep.
You're selling on eBay. You're paying eBay to manage this part of your business for you. You use their resources. They have charts. They have monthly statements that show how much you paid in fees and all that stuff. Use them for that. Charlie knows I don't like to do any more work than I have to. eBay put that work in. I'm going to use their work.
I'm even toying with our idea from Urethra with our packs and our SKUs. I was toying with the idea if I need to go back and figure out how did I do at this specific show. Maybe I put something about the card show in my SKU, because typically a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times when I come home from a show, I'm going to list those cards for the next couple of days. Well, if I can somehow identify that show, and then I've got my written record of how much I spent at that show, and now I can figure out, did I 2x, did I 6x, did I 10x that show,
The other thing you could do is just put your price per card on there. So you could say, okay, well, I bought all these at the show. I listed them all. I paid 28 cents per card and just put 28 cents on there. Now you know what your cost of goods is. Pretty easy to figure out your profit when you have your cost of goods, because you'll sell the item on eBay. You go into the transaction. It'll say, your final sales fee here, your payment collection fee here, your promotion fee here. This is what you got. Okay. Yep. Well, then you minus out your envelope, minus out your postage, so on and so forth. Minus out your 28 cents you put on here, and boom, the rest is yours. That's your profit. So, there's lots of ways to go about it. This is a volume business. Do you want to put down every single individual card that you do a transaction with? I don't know that you want to enter all that information yourself, especially when it's already there. That would be my one cautionary tale on that. Let's see, all about price, and got 5X PSA 8, Topps Nowitzki rookies at $38, sold in 4 months at 20. So can't take, don't buy base rookies or PSA 10s because collectors like deals. Trying to decipher what he's trying to say there. I think what he's saying is he bought them for $20, sold them at 38, so he basically made $18. Is that what he's saying? Turn around and sold 4 at 20. Huh. All right.
Yeah.
My ghost pepper face can't decipher some of that. Jeter, the greatest Yankee of all time. There it is. Look at that.
Where did that come from? Out of nowhere. That's like an RKO there.
He is. I love Troy. He's so right on the ball. And, he did not play for the Brewers at all. Just, I didn't know if you knew that, Charlie, but yeah.
That's because they were busy with their own Hall of Fame shortstop.
BJ Surhoff or
PJ Surhoff never played shortstop.
Pat Listash. Let's see.
Rookie of the Year, Pat Listash.
Rookie of the Year, Pat Listash. What's funny? I'll never forget that name, because right at that time I was heavy into cards at the time, so I was buying tons of 93 Stadium Club. Remember the Stadium Club sets had 600 cards in it or whatever.
Yep.
So I'd buy the Series 3 stuff, which was the late season rookies they would put out, and I sold a ton of Pat Listash rookie cards. Because he was hot when he came in.
He was
base stealer and the whole ball of wax. So, but I'm like, well, this isn't going to last. He plays for the Brewers. I'm going to sell the crap out of these. I learned in a quick hurry to take your profits. You take your profits in this business.
Yep.
I love the yellow turtle stickers. I don't have any, but I keep my eyes out for them. Yes, they are one of my bread and butter plays. I remember seeing one in the theater with the Vanilla Ice song. Maybe even did a cameo. Yes, and that was the second movie. Correct. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go, go Ninja, go Ninja, go. He's still okay. So I think most of you know this. If you don't, you're going to now. But I'm part of some costuming communities. I've done a lot of Star Wars costuming and stuff, and I have lots of friends that are in the Turtles costuming communities. There's some really nice Turtles costumes out there. And Vanilla Ice does tours once in a while, these 90s tours, right? 90s.
They were just in town.
Were they? Oh yeah, the pop culture one. And sometimes if he's going to do Go Ninja Go, he'll put something out saying, "Hey, I'm looking for turtle costumers to come out on stage with me." So I have lots of friends who've been out with Vanilla Ice on stage in turtle costumes doing the go ninja, go thing, you know.
Did you do it yourself? Did it turn into like a left shark incident?
No, I don't think so. I've never seen it. Like I just said, I've seen people, like some of my friends that do the costumes, and they pictures of Vanilla Ice or whatever. We always do the Weird Al shows, you know. I've done a couple of the Weird Al shows. So, anyway, I missed that comment. Congrats on making top rated, Joe. Am I the only person in here who doesn't flip? Yes, probably.
No, I think we've had a couple of them in the chat regularly.
Yeah, he's just a buyer. I think a lot of people just they need to flip in order to have the money to buy the other cards. So if you have a PC, it's a great way to fund it. So I don't think most people flip because they're making money or trying to make a living or an income off of it. They're just trying to support their hobby with using another piece of the hobby. I thought you did flip on occasion for fun. Yeah, I'm doing 8 packages in a day, like phew, so I couldn't imagine 50. Jeebus, I'd be shipping all day. I did 128 packages yesterday, and my average order size was 11 cards. So that's like 1,300 cards. Yeah, that was something.
Was that 4 days?
Monday, basically Tuesday. 2.5, because I popped in. I knew how crazy it was getting, so I popped in like a little bit Christmas Eve morning before everybody got up. I came in here and did like 5 or 10 packages, and so I didn't bury myself too bad that way. But it wasn't like I shipped all day yesterday, to be fair, or to be transparent, I guess is a more appropriate way to put it. I had to take a break and do a couple of different things. I work from home primarily. One of the reasons I do that is because there's stuff here that I can help with. So like I took my decorations down, right? You know, we just talked about that. I did that on my lunch hour. I took my daughter to a friend's house who lives 20 minutes away, things like that. So there's breaks in there somewhere. Hey, Bill has a goose on his porch. See, told you.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah, you get a little raincoat for him, and if it's going to rain out, you're supposed to put the raincoat and the little like slicker hat thing on. And yeah,
where did this come from?
Oh, it's been around forever. Do you guys remember Toonces the Driving Cat? I sure do. I remember the one with Toonces and Steve Martin. That made me laugh. We either need a reboot with Stewart as the driver. Oh man, we could do a video like that on our drive to Cleveland. We'll see.
Do we need to start doing some stop motion animation like Robot Chicken? What used to do?
Yeah, and then I'll edit in the scene where, like she said, the car goes over the cliff, and we'll just have the scream. You know. She's right on it. The other one that I think would be cool is if we did a Dukes of Hazzard one, right? Where it's like, you know, we're being chased and we kind of go off the jump, you know, and we're like this, and then you just have the steward there, you know, in the middle of the car screaming, and hope them boys know how to grow wings, right?
Yeah,
you know, something like that. Stewart as a passenger works with screaming, right? Love the Toonces skit for sure.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't remember it.
Really? Toonces the Driving Cat. You don't remember that?
No.
It's literally this stupid cat puppet that would drive, and they would tell these dumb cat jokes and stuff, and then all of a sudden the cat would drive off a cliff, and they would crash to their death. Yeah,
I remember the Laser Cats video.
SNL got. Yeah, I remember that too. SNL got weird for a little while there. I think that was like early 90s, I want to say, maybe late 80s even.
See, that was my sweet spot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Congrats, Joe. Just started selling in June after collecting for 35 years. That's kind of where most of us got to.
Yeah.
Understand all that. I flipped to buy boxes. There you go. So to pay for her part of the hobby, and kids love to wax Pokemon and sports boxes. Stu of Hazard. He likes my Dukes of Hazzard idea. Super Dave of Cats. Yeah, so I don't know. That could be fun. I wouldn't mind doing something with expanding Stu's presence on the channel a little bit too. That could be fun. Instead of just restricting him to live, I think he has more to share than that. So
yeah,
we'll see. We've got a pretty good road trip coming up this year, so we'll have to put our heads together a little bit on that one. We'll eat ghost pepper popcorn and have the goat drive the car. We should be good to go then.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I know you just bought your ticket, right? You bought your VIP.
I did. Ticket is purchased. I know we talked about waiting for the rooms to open up.
Yep.
So
I never buy my ticket until I get a room.
Okay.
Because I don't want a ticket to go if I don't have anywhere to stay.
Well, there'll be someplace to stay.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Cleveland, so I'm not too worried about it. But you can book the hotel anytime because they don't charge you nothing to book a hotel. Well,
yeah,
most hotels now charge you like $7 reservation fee or something annoying. But I'll do that, and then as soon as I book my hotel, I buy my ticket. That's how I've done it for every year. So it doesn't sell out like super fast, especially before the hotels open up. But not a bad thing that you got it by any measure. But that's the only reason why I'm waiting. Those hotels are supposed to be open up, I think. What did we say? Middle of January or early January?
I think so, yeah.
Should be within just a couple of weeks. Charlie can play Uncle Jesse. Wasn't that his name?
Yeah.
And we know who's playing Cooter. This Cooter.
What was Uncle Jesse's name? Was it Denver Pyle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gomer, wasn't it?
Gomer? No, Gomer's
no, Gomer is from. You're right.
Yeah, I think it was
Why is
Denver
there more than one Pyle on TV?
It's odd, isn't it?
It is a little odd. It's not that common a name, or at least not anymore. MD says grab your ticket as soon as you can. Yeah, they'll have VIPs for quite a while. Usually the VIP doesn't sell out till like a month before the show. So, and the Cleveland show is not nearly as popular as the Chicago show. Nice areas.
We shall see, Adam.
We shall see. Yeah. The worst case scenario, I get the super VIP. There's other options too. And people sell tickets as it gets closer to. I just don't want to be strapped to a ticket if I don't have a place to stay. That's been my policy. I've been doing conventions for not always sports card convention, tougher to get into conventions. I've been doing for over 30 years. I have my game plan down and it's worked for me every year. So I'm not concerned about it. There's also a ticket buying. There's a ticket exchange buying thing too that happens as the show gets closer. So you can buy tickets off of other people too.
Yeah.
Nice areas of not downtown Cleveland area would be Crocker Park or Independence area, probably a 15-minute drive to the show from either place. Yeah, my intention is not to drive at all. I mean, obviously we're going to drive there, but I plan to just Uber. I want to be dropped at the door, picked up at the door. We've got 3 of us going. We can split those Ubers and it'll be pretty cheap. And then that way we're not fighting through traffic we don't know and trying to park and do all that. So that's pretty much going to be my plan. Plus we'll have like stuff. We'll have card boxes and all that. We don't have to load and unload cars and walk to parking ramps and do all that kind of thing. We just get in the Uber and go.
I might have to take a side trip to the Christmas Story house though.
I would like to do that. Yeah, absolutely. Christmas Story house. Yeah, because is that Cleveland?
Yep. That's where they shot the exteriors, I believe.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, we can Uber to that too if we need to.
They actually have the house recreated as
I saw that somebody bought it and then like museumed it basically, right?
Yeah.
And kind of put all the original stuff back in. Mm-hmm. Didn't they shoot? Because there's a Christmas Story 2. Didn't they shoot some of it there? I believe
there's a Christmas Story 2, and then the new one last year was a Christmas Story Christmas. And I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was based on like his dad passed away,
Correct. Yeah. It was pretty decent.
And he went back to his mom's house and this and that. Mm-hmm. So I think they just had like some shots just to sort of for continuity's sake or whatever.
And they in the storyline, they were actually in like Hammond, Indiana, or something like that.
Right, correct. Yeah, Indiana, I believe. Yeah, houses near Steel Yard area. Like, I think we're just gonna hook up with DJ Terp and
right. We have a tour guide.
Yeah, and we're all just gonna, go around and have a good time. I think that's gonna be the plan. MD wants to know if we've ever been to the Cleveland show. Nope. Plenty of parking right next to the venue. Also, show floor is 30% smaller. That I know. And guessing ticket pool will be lighter as well. Possibly. We'll see.
And again, it will be my first national ever. It's the first time I'll be going, so I'm pretty excited to check it out.
My first one was in 1997, I think. 1996, 97. And then I've been to like maybe 5 or 6 of them since. I don't really keep track of stuff like that. I know some people are like, this is my 12th national. I don't do stuff like that.
Keep all the badges and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of my passes, and back in the day when they used to give you like an actual pass you had to wear and stuff, I had like a bunch of my Comic-Con ones and stuff like that, and I don't know, I don't it's the thing that I keep track of. I don't save my ticket stubs from concerts. I don't do any of that stuff. As long as
customize your pass.
Nope, I don't.
I thought that was an option.
It's funny because I was just looking at. Here, I'll be right back. Hold on a second.
Oh boy. So he's going to get his pass that says Atom Bomb, Fritz the Wampa, and everything else that he wanted to call himself for those shows. You must be digging deep, Adam.
So maybe you don't believe me that it's been 30 years, but here's some.
Oh, look at that.
Here's a few handfuls of different badges from different shows. So, yeah, like here's my here's the one from last year. This is my VIP from. Let me go to solo.
From Panini.
Yeah, this was my. Oop, that's solo.
Wrong solo.
Let's see. We got to go back to exit solo. How do I get out of solo? I got to do it on here, I think. So this is mine. This is mine from last year, right? The VIP, the Kaboom one. It's got all your like credits and stuff on the back there, the show hours and stuff. Here's my national from 2021. So I keep this stuff, and I just basically have a bunch of lanyard hooks in my office that I hang stuff on. Here's my exhibitor badges and my host badges from Star Wars Celebration Chicago. I was a big shot there. I did a bunch of the setup stuff, and so I had all backstage. And
is that a young Lando on there?
That is a young Lando. Yep. So that's I don't know if you can see that, but it's an exhibitor badge. There you go. Now you can kind of see it. And then I also had an adult pass. And then I was a host for one of the main events.
Okay.
So and then I was also on stage with the actors and stuff. So, so some pretty cool stuff I've gotten to do over time. But let's see, have we got anything else that's interesting here? Here's like Chicago Comic-Con. This is just a 3-day badge. I wasn't an exhibitor or anything there. I have one from San Diego Comic-Con. I was a professional there. This is like, if you're a Comic-Con nut, this is it right here. San Diego Comic-Con is the biggest show in the entire universe. And yeah, I had a professional badge. I was over here. Professional badge. I was a presenter at a couple of the events and stuff. So anyway, enough there. But yeah, that's why I said, I'm quite a vet at these types of events. So if you're not, Charlie, we'll get you through it all as a first timer.
Break me in.
Yeah, we'll break you in.
Wear comfortable
shoes.
See.
Wear comfortable. Did you ever watch my video of like how to do a national kind of thing? I try to make one every year.
I don't know if I have.
That's probably tip number one: bring comfortable shoes. That and bring hydration powder.
Oh yeah.
Bring a few water bottles so that you can, as you empty them, you can refill, so you're not buying them. And then of course you got to have like your normal snacks in your bag. I like a backpack. Some people use like a rolling bag, things like that. I like a backpack. I want something where it's right on me. I can feel if somebody's going into it. I put my wallet in my front pockets. Like there's a bunch of safety things you really want to try to follow. But yeah, other than that, it's just making sure that you can get through the day. So I always have, some trail mix and, stuff like that. I see some of these people at these shows and they're like two-fisting beers and walking down the aisles. And I'm like, that's probably not the best. If you're going there to do what we do, which is like pick up tons of inventory, which the National is the best place in the world for that. You want to be set up more physically capable to be there for 9 hours digging in boxes. So anyway, I lived in the same neighborhood as the Poltergeist house for years. I never even knew until way after the fact. I saw the Nightmare on Elm Street house in LA when I lived there, though. Nice. I've seen the McAllister home, the Home Alone home. When I was out in California, I saw the Back to the Future house, Marty's house. Yeah, there's some cool locations pretty much everywhere. I've been to Skywalker Ranch where George Lucas lives, or used to live anyway. It's a private location now. I was out there with the Mythbuster guys. I don't know if I mentioned that last time.
I went to the Dresden in LA, if you remember the movie Swingers. And it was the most expensive drink I've ever had in my life.
Oh, yeah.
For like a little, like the bathroom drinking glass when you brush your teeth or whatever. It was a drink in like one of those, and it was just a normal like whiskey sour or something like that. And I think it was like $16. It was crazy.
Wow.
But it was a Dresden. And I left and I said, this place is dead anyway.
You're paying for the experience, right? I mean, that's how that stuff goes. The experience in the photo,
Yeah.
I remember I went to the Cantina bar, which is like kind of a replica of like the Star Wars Cantina in the movie. And it's a pop-up. I don't know if do you know what pop-ups are?
No.
So like if you go out to like LA, New York, like bigger cities like that, they'll do these pop-ups. So they're like temporary storefronts or temporary restaurants. They basically just build like a shelter between two buildings and anyway, or it's just a temporary lease, right? Maybe this bar is only going to be there for 6 months and then it comes down and this bar goes in, stuff like that.
I don't remember.
Anyway, it's a pop-up bar down there right on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the stars thing. And same thing. Yeah. It was, $25 for a shot and, but it was like, and I was there to work on the Star Wars show. So I'm like, I should probably go to the Star Wars bar one night. So we did. We had a ton of fun. It's worth it. It was worth every penny.
Yeah.
MD says he recommends parking at the venue versus Ubering, but that's just him. I'm probably not going to do that. I don't like to walk back and forth to cars and remember where I parked. I'm guessing they charge for parking, so you're not saving any then versus Ubering. So again, I've been doing this a long time, and I've been to lots of cons where I'm hauling costumes around, which it's super important to have, the least walking travel as possible. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the first day we change our mind and we're like, hey, look, there's a parking lot right here. We'll park here. I don't know. But going back and forth and driving that route, doesn't sound that fun to me. I like to get dropped off at the door and see ya. I'll call you later when I need you. Especially when you have 3 riders. Let's say it costs us $20 to get there, right?
Yeah.
We got 3 riders. It's $7.50 a piece. That's still going to be cheaper than trying to pay for parking. My guess, anyway. Way easier than Chicago. That's correct, but I always stay at a connected hotel in Chicago, so I don't need to drive anyway. Pro tip, another thing that Always done at conventions. If there's a hotel that has a skywalk or a walk across the street, you pay up and you stay there. Worth every penny. Hotels near the venue, which is right next to the airport, really has no places near to eat, but yes, plenty of parking for the venue. So we're going to have to probably go somewhere to eat anyway. So
yeah.
I wish you had an In-N-Out burger. That would motivate me to.
That would be awesome.
To drive anywhere, but I know there's none in Cleveland, so unfortunately. Veteran badge collection, nice. Yeah. If it's not one card, it's another, right? I mean, badges are basically cards. The old national badges used to have like a card in the badge. They were pretty awesome.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if I know I have one, but I don't know if it's over in this stuff. I'd have to dig through it all. There's a lot of stuff in here. But look at like so here's one of my convention badges. Here, I'll zoom myself in here. This one's kind of interesting, so I'll just show this one off. This is my Wizard World convention badge from 2007, right? So that's what, 16 years ago, 17 years ago. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But look at it. It was a little piece of paper that they mailed you. I had to get the little plastic lanyard thing. But then all the vendors would like punch holes in it. Like if you got the exclusives and things, or they'd write on the back of it. And it's funny to see how much things have, come forward in the years since. Yeah, it was literally just like a piece of paper that you stuck in a little like lanyard sleeve thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to this here. Perfectly easy to have a few beers while digging through boxes. Come on, you're from Wisconsin.
Yeah, can you imagine if the National was ever in like Green Bay or Milwaukee?
No, I would hate that. I don't want that. Honestly, I can't see a place better than Chicago. Just location-wise, the cost is pretty decent. It's a ginormous international airport right next door. There's plenty of hotels connected.
I mean, in fairness, it's not actually in Chicago, though, right? It's in Rosemont.
Oh, okay. like literally, you drive down that road, like you're on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive or whatever. You drive. Well, if you drive down, keep driving down that, you'll hit the water. But if you go down like the Miracle Mile and stuff like Michigan Ave and all that, I mean, it's right in the heart of Chicago. So
yeah,
you can't get more Chicago-y than Rosemont. Yes, there is a like convention center next door. There's a concert venue. There's like all that stuff right there. So I think there's a big movie theater right there. And I'm not poo-pooing Cleveland by any measure. I'm sure it'll be great and it'll have a lot of good things to offer. I just
Drew Carey says it's great.
Right.
Rocks.
Right. But I doubt they can offer everything that Chicago can offer, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you have a VIP, you paid for parking already, so that's irrelevant.
Right. I think
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a fair point. In-N-Out gross, most overrated. Oh, we're going to have to disagree with that. It's Derek Jeter and In-N-Out Burger, all right? Don't get it twisted.
That's what Stu thinks of that.
You know what he said? You know what I heard? I heard, yum.
Yeah. Double animal style.
Yeah, yeah. You have to get an animal style. Off the menu. Have you ever had the meats sandwich at Arby's?
No, I haven't.
Arby's sandwich. Go to Arby's. It's not real cheap. It's like $17 or something, but go get the meats off the menu sandwich. And they literally like put a pile of every single kind of meat they have on a sandwich, and it's amazeballs.
I might have to check that
like
out. It's been a while since I had Arby's.
It's like the turkey, the roast beef, the brisket, like the whole thing. It's fantastic. Oh, let's see. Do we have anything else in here? Venue in Cleveland is much better. Outside venue is much better in Chicago. Yeah, that's. I mean, I like the Rosemont. The thing that always screws the Rosemont is they don't put the damn air conditioning on. That's what kills it there. The venue there is pretty good. It gets split up a little bit. Some of the floor plan has different elevations, so you have to like walk up this ramp kind of area, and it's almost just too big. It'll make your head spin how big that place is. You'll walk miles and miles and miles in a day just to look through like quarter boxes. So I'm kind of looking forward to Cleveland, where it's a little bit more laid out, better, and so I could definitely see how a lot of attendees and dealers and stuff think, Cleveland is a better venue as far as for this type of show. Bargain Boxer says In-N-Out is awesome, and he is correct. I love Jeter. In-N-Out is trash. Would rather have 2-day-old unrefrigerated McDonald's.
You must have went there when the trainees were working.
Right. You didn't order animal. That's where you failed, I think. That's how my wife feels about White Castle. She hates it, and I love White Castle. I would not go there every day. I would not go to In-N-Out Burger every day. So, I'm not saying that, but those are nice treat type places as far as
I've never had fresh White Castle. I've only had grocery store White Castle, and I'm like, why is everyone crazy about this?
You got to go there and get a briefcase of sliders. I like the jalapeno ones.
A briefcase of sliders?
Yeah, you can order them by the briefcase. They literally give you a cardboard briefcase with like 40 sandwiches.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's to die for. Well, the burgers are steamed. That's what's different there. So when you go there, they have this big griddle and stuff, but it's all just like hot water steam coming up. And then, so it's much better fresh, obviously, because steamed things that get old are frozen are not as good. But
right.
Yeah, they literally just put it off the steam and throw it on a bun. And that's why they're smaller, so they can get through them really quick and not overcook them or get them wet. Like, steam is wet. You don't want your burger all wet. So it's interesting. It's different for sure. 212 days until the national. Oh boy. I cannot be counting down for something like that yet. I got to at least get into the news. I just gave all my money to the property tax guy, so I have to get over that first. Let's see. 2023 national, they opened another 50% worth of floor compared to previous years. It was crazy. That's accurate. We already talked about that. Good evening. Late to the chat. Welcome, Scott. Thanks for joining us. Glad you can make it. I've been looking around for non-sports, and all I see is stuff like New Kids on the Block. Nope. Maybe stickers. You could probably do stickers. New Kids on the Block is still popular. And 90s stuff. 90s stuff for non-sport is awesome. That's probably the biggest bulk of what I buy.
New Kids, I think, are on tour again too.
The girls, the grown up women now that went nuts for them when they were teenagers are still going to the shows. So I don't know that they're big card buyers, which is probably what hurts their market, even though, as a music group, they still have a strong following. But if you are to buy the sticker cards or something like that, I wouldn't pay any more than 10 or 15 cents for them, 20 cents. Because you might get $2 to $3 out of them, and you might have to sit on them. So you don't want to put a lot of capital into those. But if you can find them cheap enough, they might be a good. I've sold some New Kids on the Block before. So, what non-sport should I look for at shows? Well, anything older, like for example, the Hulk stickers here, sticker cards are from 1978. So that stuff is good. We talk about it a lot on here. You want the insert, those sticker cards, the non-base stuff as much as possible. The more popular properties, so Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Simpsons, things that have long-term super fan bases. Ninja Turtles is still huge. Transformers, stuff like that. So those would probably be your top things to look for. Die cuts, stickers, scratch and sniff cards, Think the weird things in the packs. I don't know. I mean, those are probably my tips.
Yeah.
And then bulk. If you're gonna, as long as and I've said this a million and one times, not even just on the show, but you can sell anything, but you got to be able to buy it for a price you can resell it at. So if you can find a 200 sticker card New Kids on the Block lot for 2 cents a sticker, I'd buy that. I'd certainly buy that. I'd buy that without hesitation. You should be able to sell a couple of those and break even, and then you've got a nice stack of inventory that you have no capital in, and whatever you sell from there is profit. So you have to look at it more as if you're looking at it to try to make money, you have to look at it more as what am I getting these for? What am I paying for these versus what I can sell them for? And then that should determine whether or not you should buy it. Not necessarily the property itself, but that's why the bulk buying is so important. You need to get that price down as far as you can. But Charlie mentioned earlier about all these Superman cards he gotten a lot, and they don't move well. Well, I buy a lot of the stickers, and they move super super fast.
Right.
Batman stuff. Actually, I have a stack of Batman stickers here that I have to list. Here's the header card. I like header cards from sets, right? This is the first Batman card from the Batman movie. Here's sticker cards. Here's the header card. This is the one I wanted to show, where it shows Batman and it says Topps picture card and how many cards and stickers are in it and stuff like that. There, people like those cards. Marvel stuff does really well. Here's Spider-Man. Shiny stuff, just like sports cards. People like, cracked ice stuff. I don't even know what this card is, but it's from the Punisher, and it's a cracked ice card that I paid 8 cents for, or less. I might have paid less than that. I don't remember which non-sport lot I bought it in. A couple lots I bought at 8 cents a card. A couple lots I bought at 2 cents a card. So it might be a 2-cent card. Stuff that looks cool. Here's a really sweet looking Venom card. Spider-Man. I really like
Venom, or was that Carnage?
Venom.
All right. Okay. Just double checking.
Carnage is red. Carnage is red, buddy.
Nuh-uh.
This is Carnage.
Well, that's a different version. There's a black version as well.
This is Carnage.
I pulled a black Carnage card the other day, and I almost thought it was Venom, until I actually read the back.
Yeah, no, this is Venom. I really like these Marvel Masterpieces cards. You can get them pretty cheap, but they look nice. The art is nice. There's some foil on them. It's this really sweet comic back, looking back with the character on it, Phoenix. Here's a 2099 Hulk, super badass picture of him. I like this stuff. Actor cards. Ralph Macchio, right? The Karate Kid. Who doesn't want a Karate Kid card? Music cards. Here's Biz Markie. Here's DJ Cool. Let me clear my throat. Like that. Here's a nice parallel of DJ Jazzy Jeff. So you want to look for parallels, serial number stuff. It's really not that different a game from buying, looking at sports stuff. Ren and Stimpy is very popular. Cartoons you grew up with. Tattoos. I've done well with tattoos. My Little Pony stuff is super hot. Here's some Rugrats. Real Monsters. I've sold a bunch of those. Those do pretty well. Trying to see if I got anything different in here.
Dinosaurs.
Doug. SpongeBob. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff to buy.
So one of the things you said to me once that makes sense, Adam, is really think about who your main card buying market is right now, and then think about what brings back that nostalgia and those memories for them. And you think about guys like us are probably right in that sweet spot of card buyers, and we grew up with all those shows we just talked about, right? G.I. Joe and Transformers and dinosaurs and all that stuff. But if you go back too far, then you start to lose some of the main market. And if you're too recent, you got a lot of kids that probably aren't buying a lot of cards yet either too. So you got to kind of think about where's your market, who's your key demographic for buyers, and what were they watching that they're going to look back fondly on.
Well, and that's why, some of the first properties I mentioned, it's why I pull those off the top of my head. Turtles, well, that's us plus it's our kids.
Right.
Pokemon, that's us plus our kids. You got, most people don't consider Pokemon non-sport. It's like its own thing because it's big enough. So that's why I didn't mention it. But Ghostbusters, there's a new movie still coming out. You got Transformers, they're still making movies and shows. And you got multiple generations maybe buying some of that stuff. So Superman's kind of tough. The property hasn't done very well since the original ones. Batman can struggle here and there, but they're still doing stuff with that. Plus, Batman fans are like diehards. They have like put Batman in their name, right? So, Star Wars, there's people who name their kids after the actors in Star Wars, characters in Star Wars. Like you want to go with where you're going to have, like Charlie said, you're going to have buyers,
I was just looking at my Wizard of Oz cards.
Yeah, the Oz Returns. I bought a big lot of those stickers. They've done well.
Mad Magazine cards.
Nice, Mad Magazine. I bought a big lot of those Dune sticker cards. Do you remember when I showed you those?
Yeah.
And I listed them. I think it's like a 30 sticker set, and I had like 22 of the 30 stickers. I had one buyer buy all 22 stickers.
Really?
So I got them in for like $6 or $7. I sold them all for like 40 something to one buyer. So that was pretty. I literally just grabbed the whole pack of them and I just put a label on it and sent it out. So when you find buyers for stuff like that, you can do pretty well with it. MD says, "Oh, White Castle too. I bet you like your steak well done and Miller Lite." No to both of those. Chick-fil-A has the best fries. I don't like Chick-fil-A.
We were just talking about Chick-fil-A the other day because we went there for lunch and we left and we said, the only reason we like Chick-fil-A is because of the sauce. If they didn't have the sauce, we wouldn't eat Chick-fil-A at all.
That's what I like most about the spicy chicken at Popeyes. The sauce is really good. Yeah. Remember how I told you I take the little seasoning packs and I'm filling my own little shaker, so I have my own seasoning at home from the fries.
Put some of that on your ghost pepper popcorn.
Ghost pepper popcorn's perfect just as it is. I don't want anything to dull the pain. Fazoli's keep bringing me the breadsticks. That's true. I do like Fazoli's. I have one like less than a half a mile from my house. So CFA, Chick-fil-A, is that what he's saying? CFA. Yeah, I don't like Chick-fil-A. Amen. Raisin Cane's is better chicken than Chick-fil-A. We don't have one of those. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Never been in one though.
Cane's fries aren't good. Nope, not close. Everyone says it's sauce, but I don't eat sauce unless it's cheese. I have a cheese machine at my house, so I'm ready for you. I went through a whole bag of cheese between the Bad Santa party and then the holidays at my house, so it was fun. That's the thing I worry about, buying the wrong non-sports and sitting on them forever. Stickers, I hear you on. We'll look for more of them. I would start there. If you're finding like the inserts and stuff at a decent price, there's going to be buyers for those no matter what. Pretty much no matter what set you find. But you're a smart guy, Scott. Like Charlie and I said, look at what are people interested in. If they're interested in Transformers and you get Transformer cards really cheap, buy some. Don't go broke on it, but if you can get 100 cards for $20, if you can put $20 into it and give it a chance, that's the best way to learn is to pick some up. What about 90s Marvel Universe in bulk? I see some of that around. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the Marvel Universe stuff is that it was super overprinted. There's trillions of those. They were just trying to really capitalize on that early 90s card boom, kind of like they did the last couple of years here with sports cards. So I'd be a little careful in, paying up for that stuff. Get it cheap enough and then you'll be good. Bargain Boxer says his goal this year is to set up at least one card show. I think that's a good goal. They can be fun. If you don't, Charlie and I kind of talked about this at the last show. We don't necessarily make like a fortune on our boxes. I come out ahead. I don't think Charlie's even broken even yet at a show.
Not yet, no.
From what he said. But I kind of look at it like going to the casino, right? I don't expect to come out of there with more than I went in. That's sort of the wrong mindset. You have to go in there looking at it like this is an entertainment experience and I get to see people and, discuss my hobby and talk to people and buy, even if you just buy while you're a dealer there, it can be good for that. And then if you make money, great. Right? I mean, that's kind of how we sort of look at it. Now we just do a couple shows a year, so it's not a big deal. I don't count on that for any income by any measure. I've made at every card show I've done, but not a ton. Other than some of my bigger sales that I've made kind of outside my normal show inventory, but Bargain Boxer says Beanie Baby cards do not do well. That is correct. Don't buy those. I've never bought those. They're junk. Jurassic Park sell well. I have some. They haven't done that great for me. I've done okay with some of the parallels. And again, the main character cards. So that's kind of what I try to stick to with those. Do Marvel stickers only well, or does base Marvel do like the Punisher, Ghost Rider? I can buy a few thousand for $100 or so. Yes, I would buy those.
Yeah.
What non-sport should I avoid as a low-end seller? Again, just properties people don't care about. Especially like Charlie said, people in our age group, because they're generally the biggest card buyers for non-sport. Kids aren't as into it. It's not as cool as the basketball and that kind of stuff. So I would avoid stuff like American Gladiator and those things were cool when we were kids. I remember watching that show. I don't want to buy it. I'm not going to collect the cards of it, right?
Yeah.
But I still love G.I. Joe. I still love Transformers. I still love Star Wars. I still love Turtles, stuff like that.
What are those franchises that have staying power? I mean, those are going to be your safer bets. Now, I wouldn't say completely avoid other things. If you find them cheap enough and you want to try a couple of them, you never know. You might just find that right buyer in your store that now all of a sudden they go to you for that. But I wouldn't make a large buy of some of those kind of less popular franchises. It is a little bit of trial and error, I think. I mean, I'm still trying to find, kind of my sweet spot with that as well. I have some that I've been able to move pretty decently. Like I moved quite a few Marvel cards. I have others that, like we talked about, the Superman cards. I got those and didn't do so well. I think one of the key things Adam said though is if you're able to pick through a box and get them, focus on the main characters. A lot of those other side scenes where they're just a random scene in the movie, I don't think those do very well unless we've talked in the past, like Star Wars, the Orange series has a lot of behind the scenes things. So maybe you have Mark Hamill and George Lucas having a conversation, that might be worth a buy. But if it's just some random Tatooine scene, it's probably not going to move as much.
They're supposed to have to earn my pro tips, and we've just been giving them away at the show. We're just giving them away. You get a pro tip. You get a pro tip. You get a non-sport tip. Give them away like they ain't no value, right? No, it's non-sports is a great play, but you do have to. It's a little different than buy Patrick Mahomes and sell Patrick Mahomes. Well, that's pretty obvious, even though he kind of sucks this year.
It's tougher.
Yeah, it's tougher. And none of the quarterbacks are playing. So, who's been my biggest quarterback seller? I just sold 2 more rookie cards of him today. Take a guess.
Aiden O'Connell.
No, but I did sell an Aiden O'Connell card today.
Okay.
You know that? Did you watch my pickups, my Green Bay pickups video?
Oh, you make videos too?
Oh boy. Well done. Well done. I'll send you some ghost pepper popcorn as your prize. Yeah. Anyway, the reason I asked was I had bought some Aiden O'Connell rookies. That was like the only thing I bought besides like the veteran parallels and stuff, and I sold those. But no, my best quarterback sales recently, actually 2 of them have done really well. Baker Mayfield and Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Because I was buying Joe Flacco rookies for 10 cents, 20 cents. I got some like black Topps Chrome refractor parallels and stuff like that. I sold all that stuff. And you need to sell those. Don't hang on to those people.
Yeah, still some people wacko for Flacco.
Wacko for Flacco. I mean, the guy was, sitting on his couch 2 weeks ago, and now he's winning NFL games again.
Yeah,
he is a Super Bowl winner. The reason I will always buy his rookies is because you always find them super cheap, and he's still a Super Bowl winner. So, there's only been so many Super Bowls, and most of those have been won. Multiples have been won by most quarterbacks. There's only 11 unique quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls.
Something like that.
Something like that. That's kind of insane. Nick Foles, you find Nick Foles rookies in a dime box, you buy that. I like the weird plays. So, or the off the cuff plays, if you will. But yeah. Anyway, we kind of got off on a tangent there. But as far as which ones do, I would avoid the ones that don't sell.
Yes. Good advice.
I'm here to help. We got some more chicken discussion. I'm going to skip some of that. Don't think
popular.
Close. Urethra agrees with me. We're in a new junk wax. I don't know. There's enough parallels and stuff, but there's definitely overprinting.
Yeah.
I don't think any of it's going to be junk, but maybe 10 to 15% of print run from the. I don't think so. I think actually Urethra's closer. We're at. My opinion on it, now nobody has the real numbers, so we're all guessing anyway, but I think we're probably closer to the print run in those 90s, but you have to remember those 90s prints were just all base cards. It was just 6 trillion of this card versus now they do like, okay, we'll do 3 billion of this card, and then we'll do 2 billion of this parallel, and then 1 billion of this parallel, and then we'll do this 1 billion of this retail exclusive. So they just spread it out. To have variations. That's the big difference, in my opinion. Feels overproduced. At MD feels comforting, man. Guess it just feels overproduced. She stayed up late for American Gladiators. That show was awesome, dude.
Who was your favorite gladiator?
Ice.
Oh, Ice.
And I loved the gauntlet. That was my favorite when they had to dodge the ping pong balls and stuff. It was awesome. Just that final run and watching them try to. Somebody the other day was like, "Oh, American Ninja Warrior or whatever is better than American Gladiators." I'm sorry, but you're dead wrong.
The production value is nowhere near as good. It may be more like realistic, athletic.
I was going to say, I think the athletes are more, real in it, but American Gladiators, there were some people who won that was like, man, you couldn't even run a mile,
Yeah.
But it was just fun.
I used to like the game where they had to get the ball in that little basket on the floor. And it was like football and basketball all together.
Yes, yeah, like a multi-sport kind of thing.
Yeah.
MD says, yeah. There are American Gladiator cards. I've had some. I've had some of the sticker cards, of course. They just don't do a whole lot. If they're in with as a penny with a bunch of other stuff or something, that's fine. But I wouldn't seek them out or anything. There are a lot more products. Problem is now people don't see much value in base cards because they're told not to. I don't know if I can agree with that because I saw a ton of base cards, tons. There's a lot of times where I have the rare parallel, which obviously I charge more for, numbered card or whatever, and I'll sell 30 copies of the base card before I sell that numbered parallel card.
Just for some star players, though, right?
But that's pretty much what I carry.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to go based on what your store, your focus, or your brand is.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm speaking from is, what I carry as products. But yeah, a base card of some lineman that nobody's ever heard of, you're going to have a hard time selling that. I don't care what year print run it is. 1 million prints or 100,000 prints, you're still not going to have a lot of buyers. So, now that being said, I've sold some pretty weird ass cards too that I've just gotten for free, or I pulled from packs, so I just list it and see if it does something.
I'm still looking to sell a flying pig like you did.
You want to see one? Here, I got a good one.
You got more?
Yeah, check this out. Let's see. Here's one I just sold yesterday. Here, I'll pull it up and I'll put it on the screen for you. Let me see. Solo. Let's see if I can do it just me this time. I'm going to take the comment out too. You see that?
Looks like a shark.
Yep. It's Sharky from San Jose.
The mascot?
Yep. Now you can kind of see it better.
That's understandable. Yeah. Though. Mascot cards sell. I have lots of baseball mascot cards I sell.
Water skiing squirrels, dude. I'm telling you, if you can find a stack of those,
yeah.
Pick those up. Pick them up. Sawyer, I don't know if we've said hi to Sawyer, but welcome to the show. World of Warcraft does really well. That's probably true. I don't know anything about World of Warcraft, so I don't buy them. Yeah, it's the same reason I don't really do Pokemon and I don't really do Magic the Gathering. Great markets, I understand that, and if that's your thing, sell the hell out of them. Even Lorcana is a bit of a stretch for me.
Yeah.
But go for it. Batman reprint cards from the 60s are sought after. Yes, I've sold those. All Batman, more rare stuff does pretty well. Here, I got another good one. What?
Urethra. She's not satisfied with just the tips, Cooter.
I had to leave that on there, didn't I? Here's 3 Batman cards I got out of a 2-cent box. I'll see if I can put this on my bigger phone here. I don't know if you'll be able to see these that well here. I'm going to show you these. These I just sold yesterday too. You might not be able to see these.
Yeah,
hold on.
Great.
Maybe I'll do it as a share screen on my eBay instead. Hold on, let me pull this up. I already shipped them, so let me find them in there. Now, these are like artistic takes on Batman. But that's kind of what I like about them. Let's see. I'll see if I can pull one of these up. So I sold three different cards of this. I'll pull one up so you can really see it. Actually, here, I'll just do this. Present. Share. eBay. Okay, so check this out. This is these. I think I might have even shown you these, Charlie. These are these like fantasy Batman cards. Now I got $10 a piece for these. I got these out of the 2-cent box. So talk about a profit margin. That's a pretty good one. So I got $32 for these cards. This is the Batman with the dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Yeah, that's cool. That's the kind of thing that I would probably keep in my own personal collection. Because I like that kind of weird stuff.
I can't when I get $10 for them. Yeah, I got $10 a piece. They're a nice chrome. They got like a little old artist signature on the bottom.
Yeah.
Tells you a little bit about the artist, and he talks about, you know, doing Batman work and stuff. That's the kind of stuff, like, I don't know, that I feel like can let me stop my screen here. Okay. Can kind of get you over the hump. So if you make a few mistakes, if you're picking up stuff like that, those should help you make up for, you know, maybe a few cards that sit or don't sell like you think they are, until you really get the hang of it and you know what to buy and sell. Sharing means caring. Right here, Jake the Snake. You got it. That's one of my favorite cards of all time. 2,500 Marvel cards for $150 sounds decent. So I'd do like this for 90s Marvel. I'd probably buy them. I mean, even if you could do them in lots, you wouldn't have to sell them individually for buying that much. You could do like... See, the cool thing about comic book stuff is you could sell them in different types of themes, right? You could do a Spider-Man lot. So you've got like Spider-Man in his regular suit, and then a black suit Spider-Man, and a Spider-Man 2099, Iron Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Kind of sell those together and sort of try to hit the Spider-Man buyer. You could do an Avengers lot. So you got a bunch of the characters from the Avengers, which, you know, are so popular in the movies. And it gives you a lot of leeway to sort of team them up and offer them in chunks to try to get your money back quicker and maybe help you sell off some cards that wouldn't be a big seller individually. That might be the right spot for that. If you have anything that's bigger, you know, like a card of Stan Lee or something like that, you know, you could still, you know, do some individual listings of some cards. And then like I do that with my Simpsons, right? So I got all those Simpsons sticker cards pretty cheap. But on top of it all, I got all these lots of base cards. So I just bag them up. I'll list them 12 card lots so I can fit all 12 into 2 card savers and then a 87-cent stamp. So that's why I do it. It's the most cost-effective way to ship them. But I'll lot those up. No, I'll make enough money just on selling these cards, which I could care less that they were in the lot other than it was free cards for me to sell. But I'll be able to sell all these and more than break even. So anything I sell those sticker cards for is going to be pure profit. And these will sell fast. I've had tons of these Simpsons base cards and they always sell quick. So anyway, you just kind of have to figure out, you can't turn down an opportunity because it's not the ideal way you want to do things. You need to try to find a way to make that work where you can get some sales out of that and make some money. You don't want to leave money on the table. It's hard enough to get, as you all know. So if you got to buy the lot and there's a few cards in it you really don't want, so you're like, well, now I don't want to buy it because there's some cards in here I can't sell. Yeah, well, can you sell the other cards? Can you lot up the ones that are left over? Can you put them in a dime box at a show? And let somebody grab them, you know, like there's ways to do it. You need to figure that part out. That's my tough love for tonight.
Tough love.
Yes, Gauntlet was the best.
Yeah,
Gauntlet was the best. Nowhere near even 25% of junk wax levels. Not even the same planet. I'm trying to remember the ones I like best. Nitro, yes, I remember Nitro.
What about Turbo?
Turbo, yes. Lace, do you remember Lace?
Lace, yeah.
Yeah, that show was awesome.
Lace, did she become a professional wrestler?
I thought she died. Didn't she die? Like, well, they were probably all on like steroids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at them. And Lace Gladiators. Let's see what this thing says. Oh my God! Looking at her with the headband and the frizzy bangs and so hot. There's only 3 seasons. That seems crazy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She made guest appearances, a brief spot on television shows Clueless and Renegade. She left the show prior to the beginning of season 4, causing them to have to find another Lace to replace her. See, I guess I thought it was she passed away, but maybe she just left. She also posed for Playboy.
Oh.
which doesn't surprise me. I'm sure they all
I've
did.
never seen that periodical.
The articles? You never read the articles?
Yes.
Malibu with that hair. You know it. Let's go.
Oh,
I'm ready.
look at that.
Ready for some waves. Point Break, bitches. I just watched Point Break the other day. It's a great movie. If you've never seen it, watch it. It's classic.
Dead Presidents.
Oh, Gemini. I forgot about Gemini.
Or was it the Dead Presidents or the Ex-Presidents?
Ex-presidents. So it was like Bush and Nixon and what was the other one?
Reagan was one.
Kennedy? Was it? Oh, Reagan. That's it.
Yeah.
Some of Larry Zonka's finest work was on the American Yes, I remember that. He was on there.
He was the host,
right? Yes, correct. Well, he did like interview stuff and that kind of thing.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah. You sell plenty because you're serving a niche. Got to remember you're also buying those from somebody for next to nothing too. That's the key. You make your money when you buy the cards. Then you just have to wait for the sales to happen. Very cool Batman cards. They are original Point Break. I thought Lori Petty was so cool back in the day. Yes, Lori Petty was and is awesome. I agree. All right, so I think we're probably at a good spot to sort of hang it up here. We're caught up in the chat. We've got 20 viewers right now, which is awesome. Usually we don't have that many late into the night, so we appreciate everybody staying here. If you haven't had a chance to, please consider, now we've gotten through the whole video. If you had a good time here, please give us a like. Share this video if you want somebody else to check it out, and maybe they want to join us for some fun chat next week. We will be here sans Ghost Pepper Popcorn, because I'm not bringing that back, but we'll be here without that. But of course, our man Stu will be here.
He's always here, working in the shadows.
He's always here. It'll be a kind of a kickoff to the new year, so we're excited for that. We thank everybody for 2023 and being with the show and watching videos and coming up to us at shows and just hanging out and chatting and having a good time. Look really forward to 2024. We got a pretty good base. We're looking to build on that. We're going to start kind of moving towards some conversations about the national and what that looks like for us and what we want to do with that. And hopefully making some plans with some of you, to share in some experiences together at the show. So hopefully many of you are going and we get a chance to do that. It sounds like we have a couple of Cleveland Noets in here, which is good. We're going to rely on you pretty heavily as we get closer. Charlie and I have never been. So, if we can all kind of plan something together and those who know what's going on there can help us get through a little bit, that'd be much appreciated. Also, if you have suggestions for hotels, I'd love that because I don't know the hotel situation there. And then if we can kind of get some idea ahead of time, it'd be nice because when they open it up, that's the thing you really have to get on over anything else. So those who haven't been to a national before, I would make sure that you book a hotel. If you're thinking about going, you can always cancel it. So, but if you're traveling and you need somewhere to stay, that's kind of a pivotal piece of it. So tickets, things like that, you'd be able to get all that no matter what as time gets closer. But anyway, but I think that's it. Do you have anything else you would like to add, Charlie?
No, it's been great having this experience this year. Really the first time I've ever done anything like this. So it's been great to experience it and grow with the show as we do this and see a lot of the same people coming back every week to have some great conversation and share different bits of information about this fun thing we do. So I look forward to continuing that in 2024 and bringing more people in to join that conversation as well and share some new ideas. So I really enjoy it. I look forward to these Wednesday nights every week to sit down and have this kind of chat.
Yeah, same here. And I want to thank you, Charlie, for doing this with me. I know when I first approached you, you were like, well, I'll try to add what I can. But I really like the dynamic of now you're becoming a veteran seller. So we can't even do like the new versus vet kind of thing, which is good. That was the whole point, right? But I really like the kind of different angles, and now we have now you're more mid vet, right? And you're novice, not beginner, right? And I'm more the vet, and now we have a lot of new people in the chat that we can all help. So I really like that part. I think that's a lot of fun. My videos are more informational and things like that. That's kind of the style of my channel. So I think this fits in well with it, and we look forward to continuing it and bringing some more people on. One of the things I would like to try to do this year, since we're kind of talking about the new year here, I'd like to try to bring on maybe a couple more guests, get some more people in the actual video portion of this that have some different experience or sell different cards or whatever. Maybe even some of you from the chat would want to join in on a video. We'd love to hear ideas from you. If you want in on it, let us know. It's not that hard for me to send an invite and get somebody to join in on the video. You do have to obviously have a webcam, or a phone that you can log in with and get yourself on camera. But I think that would be something we haven't really done that at all.
No. Well, bless you.
Ghost peppers.
Maybe you're allergic to goats.
Maybe. I think I'm getting close to being allergic to being awake.
Yeah.
Bigger part. But yeah, that's something as far as like channel goals that I would like to get to. And I know I haven't made nearly as many videos this past 2 weeks. It's just been so business busy, which of course has to take precedence. But if that rewinds a little bit, I'd like to start putting some more videos out too. So be sure to stick around. Again, like I said, subscribe if you haven't, so when we post these videos. And we're here every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Like clockwork.
But Happy New Year, everyone. Be well, be safe, and we'll see you then. See you 2024. Peace
out.